A Crow's Feather, Chapter 1. No ideas. I woke up to a cold feeling down my spine. I opened my eyes, and I woke up inside of a glass case. I could see a dim light through the glass. I tried rubbing the glass so I can see through it, but I couldn't. And then I realized how cold it was. I attempted to break out, but I was too weak. Therefore, I knew I was gonna die, so I might as well just sit here and just die of hypothermia. And then I started hearing gunshots and booms. And then I see bright lights flashing outside of my glass case. I thought it was the captors that captured me. And then a massive hole burst through the glass and all the water rushed out. As the water was rushing out, I wondered why I didn't drown in the water before I woke up. But I was too busy thinking of what's going on. A guy came out of nowhere. "Are you okay?" the guy said. "Yes, I'm fine," I said. He gave me a pistol and said, "We need to go, now." I followed him down a corridor. He said, "You need to go trace down, just in case there's any enemies." I walked around the corner, and there was another corner, and another corner. I kept walking around corners until I finally stopped at a T in the hallway. "What do I do?" I screamed. I couldn't hear him, so I just assumed. I did eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a tiger's by its toe. If it hollers, let him go. My mom said to pick the very best one, and you are not it. I landed on the left one, so I assumed I had to go right. As I went right, I resumed conscious of what I'm about to do. And then I was so aware, I slowly turned the corner. And without thinking, I just started shooting. And then I heard tick, tick, tick. My gun was out of ammo. And he didn't give me any more mags. I knew I was screwed because I had no more ammo. Then one of those alien things came out of nowhere and started trying to grab me with its tentacles. I started fighting, and then the person who saved me stabbed the alien from behind. Blood went absolutely everywhere. I was surprised at the fact that I didn't die for how many spikes were on its tentacles. He said, "You're out of ammo, you need more. There's an ammo room down the hall," he said. I got up and started running to the room. As I opened the door, there were 3 more. My savior was behind me and started throwing knives at them. They instantly died due to the poison put on the knives. "Go grab some ammo," he said. I grabbed some ammo as quickly as possible and some extra mags. As I walked out of the room, I already saw the rest of his squad shooting the others. And then I quickly realized I'm on an alien ship. "How long have I been in that glass case?" I asked him. He said, "You've been in there for at least 37,000 years. I was amazed at the fact that I didn't age. "We are from the future," he said. "We are here to help you." He gave me a semi-automatic gun. As I was running down the hall, I was shooting with the rest of his squad. I was missing terribly. I knew I needed training. As we were shooting, there was a window that I looked out of. All I could see was empty space. That's all I saw. And I could see Earth as the tiniest speck I could have saw it. "We have to get to the control panel and lead this ship back to Earth," he said. I was shocked in amazement for how much leadership he had. As we were running down the corridor, I asked him, did you guys go through training? No, he said. Then, out of the blue, a massive octopus-looking thing came out of the wall. They could go through walls? I said, as my savior was trying to save me. I was shooting at it constantly until I heard another tick. I never did hear a tick. All I could see was blue lasers coming out of nowhere. And once we killed the beast, we cut it open and found 2 more of his squad members. Oh dear God, the man said. As we were running down the hall to get to the control panel, I asked, "Dude, what is your name?" I said. "My name is Daniel Smith," he said. "But to my squad they call me Red Baron." In amazement, I knew he named himself that. He was probably German. "Why did they call you Red Baron?" I asked. "'Cause I'm so good at killing things," he said. As we were running down the hall, a door shut and I ran straight into it, breaking my nose. "Ow!" I said. He picked me up by the arm, and I looked around, seeing purple dots everywhere. "Are you okay?" he said. "Yeah, I'm fine," I said. As I looked around for an exit, the only way I could go was backwards. But then a door shut behind us as well. We were trapped in a room. And then he gives me some C4, saying, "You figure it out." I planted the C4 on the door, found a box to take cover from the C4. I hid behind it, and he says, 3, 2, 1, trigger it, he said. I pulled the lever, and all I heard was a massive boom loud enough to make my ears explode. All I could hear was ringing as I was running down the hall. More aliens came out of nowhere. I started shooting just randomly, and then with my eyes closed, and then I opened my eyes and saw that me and Daniel killed everyone. "We need to get to the control panel before more reinforcements show up," he said. We got to the control panel. "How does this work?" I said. "I don't know," he said. "Figure it out." I found a key laying on the floor. In my mind, I said, "They still use keys?" I picked up the key and found a keyhole. I put the key in and twisted the key. A red button showed up. I pressed the red button, and a massive control panels of a bunch of controls showed up. I was so confused. It was worse than an actual airplane, if they still use those now. I was thinking to myself, how do I work this? I just pressed a random button and the entire ship turned so fast and so hard that everyone on the ship fell. We heard banging on the door behind us. "I'll cover you. You figure out what's gonna happen," he said. Then he opens the door and starts shooting constant aliens. I start pressing buttons and start aiming the ship at Earth. And then I found a lever. I couldn't read it because it was an alien language, but I just assumed that forward was forward and backwards was backwards. I pushed it forward and the entire ship sped backwards. I stopped it, which forced me into a wall. I hurt my shoulder really badly, but I was too in the mood to even pay attention about it. I walked back up to the lever and pushed it backwards, now knowing that backwards makes it go forward. It was like the opposite of an actual car. We started speeding towards Earth. "We gotta get off this ship before we enter the burn zone," he said. We stabbed aliens on our way to an escape pod that was easily drivable. As we got into the escape pod, there was only one seat. "You go, I'll find another one," he said. "No, I'm not leaving you behind," I said. "It doesn't matter, go," he said. In a quick think, I yelled at his face, "No, I'm taking you with me." Then he took a knife and threw it at the red button that launches it. The door closed straight in between us and the pod launched. I had no clue what was going on. As I was heading down towards Earth in a fireproof pod, I could just see the ship burning in space. And then, out of the blue, a missile comes from Earth and hits the ship. Instantly, I thought they all have died. As I was crashing towards Earth, all I could feel was heat, a little heat, and rattling everywhere around me. I started screaming eternally and literally. All I could think about is what's gonna happen to me in this pod. And then, right before I hit the ground, it stopped. I hit my head on the windshield and went straight through it. "How did that not burn in the fire?" I said. And then I got up, looking around and realizing I'm in the middle of a forest. Not knowing where I am, I saw at least 15 fighter jets flying by at the speed of light. I went out into a field and started screaming and waving my arms. "Hey, I'm down here!" I yelled. Luckily, one of the jets stopped in midair, and I was surprised at the technology that they created. A jet that can stop and hover in midair? Amazing, I said to myself. As it was landing, a pilot came out. He said, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" he said. "I got lost from the spaceship. The stinking escape pod landed here. After that, I was stranded until I saw you guys passing by." "Well, hop in, we'll take you home," he said. Later, as we were landing at their base, his captain wasn't too happy with him. "You brought a stranger into our base?" his captain said. "Sir, I'm sorry, he was just in distress and I felt like I needed to help him," the jet man said. I came in between the two and said, "He's right, I was stranded and he was just trying to help." Then his captain got into my face. "You will not disrespect, and you do not come in between people's arguments," he said. I backed away as they were still arguing. It was nighttime. "All right, go to bed. There's a bunker down the road." As I looked down the road, it was a pretty big base, so I had to walk quite a ways. As I was walking, I saw a big sign saying bunker room. I knew it was the bunker room. I mean, how could I be so stupid? I walked in, went into bed. There was no one else there. And then I quickly closed my eyes and went to sleep.